Okay, let's go and jump to rank games with a random character and see what we're gonna get today. And it looks like we are playing the Berserker. We do start off with a duffel bag with 2 little amethysts that we can use for healing reduction, or we can try to remove our opponent's buffs. Now we got ourselves quite a shop actually, because we can take the broom that is on sale, we can take the banana which is also on sale, and we can craft up a torch, and we could take a spice shield if we want to. But I also just want to roll, and I kind of want to get rid of a broom to potentially go for a magic torch, Falcon Blade. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and craft this up. Now, I'm going to keep this as a torch, but I also kind of want to keep these to try and remove buffs. Maybe it might not be that great. It might be better to potentially get rid of some blind. Early game blind is kind of prevalent, so having at least one to cleanse those debuffs, but having 2 weapons that hit with an increased chance to remove buffs from opponents, getting rid of that small bit of regen that they usually get at the start, could be kind of nice too. As for the broom, we're going to hang on to it for now, but let's go ahead and craft these up and let's get going. This is a round 1. We'll see. Now, our opponent is going to be inflicting those debuffs, which is going to be problematic, and they are going to be stacking up some buffs. However, luck is not going to be too important to opponents. It will scale up their accuracy, but the debuffs here are going to be a lot worse. But can we win out with our damage reduction? Hell yeah, we can. Not a bad start. Definitely not a bad start. For now though, I do want to grab ourselves a set of blueberries. I also really want to grab ourselves the fanny pack. And here's the thing. I want to speed up a banana with our torch, because our torch does have an on-hit effect to scale up some damage. So speeding that up is going to be nice. Along with a banana, it should be amazing potentially, hopefully. And with that for now, I'm not sure if we do want to grab more storage. Healing herbs could be kind of nice. An extra stone since it is on sale for 1. We'll take it. But I'm going to sell our broom and I'm going to be taking this garlic. I want to speed up our garlic as much as possible. And I'm going to be taking our piggy bank. Piggy bank for a little bit of extra money. Sounds kind of amazing. We also get another fanny pack, which I do honestly want to take. Now, speeding up our blueberries isn't really going to do anything at all. So we might prefer to have it this way instead. Let's save 1 gold. Let's move on with this. We'll see if we're going to be able to beat down our opponents. We are going to be speeding up our bananas, so our stamina's not going to be too bad. Now we can move some luck from our opponents, which will decrease their crit chance. So it is going to be nice to remove that luck. They're still going to get 12% crit chance thanks to the ranger bag though, so we could still be in trouble. But with our battle rage, that damage reduction, hell yeah. Not too bad. Now we do have a choice to make. We can go for the investment opportunity, magic torch. We can scale up lots of max life every time it does hit if we get a magic torch. We can also go for something like the Shaman Mask. The Shaman Mask will use buffs, so we will be stacking up max life whenever we trigger Shaman Mask then. Or we could go for something like the Deerwood Guardian and go for big mana buff bombs for big explosions. But Shaman Mask, using up buffs, seems like it could be fun. Otherwise we take false life and try to max heal like crazy. Or we take guard power, but with no class specific items. I'm not too pushy about it. Although guard power with the duffel bag is crazy good because we're going to get a class specific item in our forging hammer. But I'm going to be taking investment opportunity. I'm going to be way too greedy for ourselves. We could try to craft up another torch. Double magic torch for double scaling. That could actually be kind of fun. Not going to lie. Should we actually go for double magic torches? Or at least try it? It will mean that we're going to need to find another set of blueberries. Another health pot. It's going to be quite expensive on mana that we don't necessarily have early on. But let's go and try it. We're going to keep this though, just in case we get ourselves a Falcon Blade and we might not be able to craft up the second magic torch. So I'm going to roll. We're definitely going to take our storage. We're going to take healing herbs since we're on the hill. And we're going to save the rest of our golds. We're going to save the rest of our golds because we're going to need to roll quite a bit once we start getting access to rare items. But our opponent does have a lot of heat, so we're going to be trying to remove as much heat as possible. But that's going to be some crazy damage on it. And we took a skill that doesn't really provide too much for us right now, until we get some ways to use buffs. Now our opponent does have Knife to Meet You, which they're going to get loads and loads of damage right now. We could be in trouble because of that. However, we do get our damage reduction, which might give us the advantage, but that help out might have sealed the deal for our opponents. The battle rage doesn't last forever, and it's literally run out. However, it's looking neck and neck, and smashing actually. Not too bad. Double torches. It's been a while since I actually seen double torches, to be honest. Let's go and take our shiny shell. Let's go and take another garlic. Let's roll once, and we can go for an eye lamp. Or we can take a wonky snowman. Now the eye lamp, I don't want to craft up burning torches, but this will give us some scaling damage. The wonky snowman's kind of nice as well because it will slow down our opponent just that little bit. Let's take the eye lamp. Let's make sure we don't craft up burning torch. Do we sell 1 garlic? I kind of want to keep our shiny shell. I'm going to sell 1 garlic. Go ahead and take a wonky snowman. And yeah, I'm just going to venture on once again. I'm not going to take our little forging hammer. We're not going to need it just yet. But some of their opponents, just that small bit's kind of nice. We try to remove their luck skilling, we try to remove their regen. We don't really care too much about their mana gains. It's just that luck, because that skills of their crits as well, and that regen keep them alive that little bit longer. Our opponent does have a lot of blinds, a lot of poison on us, so this is going to be problematic for sure. And it's not looking too good, unfortunately. It is what it is. That's a helmet with a stone skip bot. Stone helmet will be amazing. But right now is the time where we need to roll, looking for health pots and mana orbs. And what a freaking crazy shop. Hell yeah. We take our storage, we take our mana, and we take our health pot. We're going to be crafting up at least one of our magic torches. That's for sure. But it will take 2 rounds. Now, are we going to sell our hero sword? Definitely not. Now, we could try to have our mana orb in this spot, trying to stack up as much as possible. We're definitely not going to get a big mana buff bomb. We're just not going to have enough mana for that. But maybe we can scale up our accuracy by getting enough mana. Because once we get 10 mana, this is going to give us luck, which is not going to be too bad for us. But we really do need to craft up our magic torch. But let's see if this is going to be good enough. We are facing a hammer, dagger, villain sword. That's going to do lots and lots of damage. They do have the stamina bot with heavy drinking, so they're going to get crazy amounts of stamina. And they're going to get lifesteal during that battle rage. So this is going to be a very, very tough opponent to be facing, to be honest. And what a crazy opponent to actually be facing. But anyway, at least we got our magic torch. That is halfway to our falcon bit as well. Well, we're going to be taking ball. We're going to roll again now. Okay, another wonky snowman. On sale for 4. I mean, I gotta take it. Which means I'm probably going to sell our stone and our shiny shell to go ahead and just grab more storage. And our piggy bank is going to give us a ton of max life. Now, the reason why I'm taking all these snowmans is because that literally reduces our opponent's scaling of max life. But hey, we do have one more round to wait. One more round to wait to get ourselves our magic torch online. Once we get one magic torch online, we're going to be scaling up a lot of max life. Our opponent does resist a lot of debuffs. We still managed to get 5 cold through, throwing him down that just that small bit. With our puzzle box, they're going to go turbo crazy. Scaling with their max life, this could be troublesome. And they're going to be refunding a lot of it with their amounts of energy. But can we just outsurvive our opponents? Right now it's looking neck and neck. We are beating them down. We do get our battle rage, speeding up our torches, but we are running out of stamina. A little bit of a problem for us. And can we still win out? Our torches should have scaled up a lot of damage, but our opponent is getting some power. Hell yeah. Amazing. But now we at least got our magic torch. Now that's also an unsettling presence. We'll use up our buffs to deal 30% of our healing as damage. So we'll use the buff, scaling up our max life, with our investment opportunity. But I'm not sure if I do want to be going for too much healing right now. It also costs a lot when we need to be rolling for gloves, for health pods. They're not going to be taking it. Let's keep rolling. Another set of blueberries we'll take. Also, fancy rapier on sale is madness. Box of riches could be kind of nice too though. But I'm just going to flat out ignore them. And we're definitely going double magic torches. Now we're going to be trying to speed up our magic torch as much as possible. We're going to have our mana pot crafting up. And we're going to be using up a lot of mana. But that's why we do have a mana orb. We're going to have our gloves to target our magic torch. It is going to be a little bit less stamina cost than the torch, so it should be kind of nice actually. We don't have to worry too much about accuracy, so our eye lamp is going to be on this torch. And we should be able to scale up our max life with our investment opportunity. Now let's go ahead and grab more storage for now. I don't really want to roll anymore since it's going to cost us too much goals. And actually, what the hell am I doing? Piggy bank. Get us a ton of max life from the get-go. Now let's go. So our magic torch is going to scale up a lot of damage first. It's going to scale up our max life as well, which is going to be incredible. We just need mana from our mana orb to allow us to scale up our max life. So every hit is going to increase our damage and our max life and also steal some buffs from opponents. So it's looking kind of awesome actually. Definitely so. And our opponents is setting up for Thornbloom Garpor with a bunch of empower stacking. They're set up for a crazy run. Now hey, we could straight up just take Deerwood Guardian just to have that mana, just that constant mana, more heals. But we could take the Shaman Mask and scale up our max life just that little bit more too. Which I'm actually down for. We're also going to get a Gemstone, which does give us a Tiger Rune. And we can use this to scale up our Vampirism on hits. Or we can use it to duplicate all the buffs we do want. So we're definitely going to scale up our buffs. Let's grab a bit of storage. We could go for Mana Thirst with double magic torches. But I don't necessarily want that. I'm going to roll again. Darksaber. Jin's Lamp. Jin's Lamp would scale up our luck, which we're kind of lacking. Yeah, I'll definitely scale up our luck. A little bit of mana. We'll also scale up spikes, which we're not too pushy with spikes. It's also going to be a great activator for our mana orb, so we'll be taking it for now. But hey, let's definitely get going again. Let's craft up our second magic torch and let's go nuts scaling up our damage. But so far it's not looking too bad. Our opponent does have a hammer, dagger, curse dagger. They're going to be stunned us. They're going to be inflicting those debuffs. And unfortunately, when I say it's not looking too bad, I meant we're going to get absolutely smashed by that. That was crazy, by the way. Now I'm looking at this helmet. I'm going to take the helmet. We could craft up our own mana pub. I'm going to roll because I want to find more runes. We could also go for a Falcon Blade, but again, our stamina's going to be a little bit too much, maybe. But a magic torch, double magic torch with Falcon Blade would be kind of insane. If we manage to get ourselves Badger runes, it would be kind of nice actually, because then we can get double scaling on our Falcon Blade. But I'm going to roll. I'm not going to take it. Let's keep going. And that's going to be healing reduction. But I also want our helmet, so I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell our piggy bank to go ahead and grab ourselves in our helmet. But yeah, let's get going. I'm keeping our eye lamp as well, which is just going to scale up our damage just a little bit more. Actually, doesn't matter too much. But our investment opportunity should be able to scale up 800 max life for us. Definitely so. So we should be able to scale up our buffs. We should be able to get lots of max life, get tons of damage, and potentially outpace his opponents with our damage reduction as well during battle rage. And smashing. Our magic torch is putting in decent work for us. Now the question is, should we go for Echo and Battlecry? We already have 2 helmets. We also have a Shaman Mask, which is going to give us more luck per socketed gemstone, which is actually going to be incredible. Otherwise, we take By the Holy Light to speed up our Jin's Lamps and try to get holy items on sale. But I'm definitely going to be taking our Echo and Battlecry. That's a good old Tornbloom. Should we move to Tornbloom? Probably not. Now, I actually want to grab ourselves a Box of Riches. I want the Box of Riches because that is going to help us get some more gemstones. Let's grab you 2. Let's roll again. You're going to be heat if we want to. Start our battle effects with our Echo and Battlecry. But I'm just going to roll. Don't want any of these items. That's our gloves again, which I'm not going to be taking. That's a Hog Rune, which I do want to take. Is there any way we can take it right now? We can sell our regen, which I'm down for. And we do want to apply some healing reduction to our helmets. Just another 24%, which should be smashing. Definitely so. But yeah, let's get going. And each socketed gemstone is going to be that little bit more luck, which would be kind of nice. Now, opponent does have a Chill Excalibur with Frozen Flame. They're going to be trying to inflict a lot of cold on us by stacking up a lot of heats. But can we scale up our own max life? Especially with our Tiger Runes, we're going to be trying to duplicate the mana we do get, the luck we do get. And so far, with the damage reduction, holy moly, it's looking kind of amazing. Now, should we go for a Stone Helmet? I'd like to grab ourselves another Cabinet Comforts, but I'm not going to be too choosy when this is on sale. Let's roll again, and we could grab ourselves a Prismatic Orb, especially with our Echo and Battlecry. We can trigger this again, giving us even more mana to potentially get a big mana bomb to be giving us a crap ton of buffs. I kind of want to take it. We could also take the Paradise Burb just to speed up our torches and duplicate those buffs too, but I still rather just grab a Prismatic Orb since I reckon Battlecry is going to trigger it again potentially. But I'd rather just grab a bunch of helmets, because having 4 helmets just constantly being activated with our Echo and Battlecry just guarantees that we can scale up our damage by having a ton of damage reduction. Just giving us more time to scale up our buffs and our damage. And smashing so far. Echo and Battlecry helmets, just a crazy good combo. We got a little bit more heal reduction. We crafted up our gemstone. Let's go ahead and grab you for now. Let's roll again. That's a big old red ruby. Now we could also craft up a moon armor. Moon armor for more block with Echo and Battlecry could be kind of insane. We won't be able to trigger mana orb, that's the problem. So I'm not too pushy about it unless we get another mana orb. Now you on the other hand, it's a starter ball effect, but it is only an armor. But it will give us a bunch of max life, so I will be taking it. It doesn't actually work, unfortunately. And I can also have our snowballs inflict that cold too, but I'd rather just focus our helmets and our prismatic orb. Now it is only going to give us a little bit of mana. It's not too crazy, but it means that our torches should be able to scale up relatively easily. I'm still going to roll though, and I do want to grab this. This little tiny gemstone I really do want to grab. So I'm going to sell this, and I will be taking it, because all I want to do is remove or reduce that healing as much as possible so we can scale up our damage and just outsurvive opponents. We're going to use this right now, not as healing reduction so we can craft up these other 2, but as a way to remove some buffs. So we can remove buffs, we scale up our max life, we get crazy damage reduction, and just scale up our buffs as well. So this is dual wielding magic torches looking kind of insane. Honestly, the Shaman Mask is a super fun class, and I don't play it as much as I should. But hey, definitely being hard carried by Echo and Battlecry though. Now, I'm not going to craft these up just yet, because both of these together is going to be 36% heal reduction with another 30%, which is quite a lot. Let's grab our storage. Do we want a mana pot? I mean, it wouldn't be too bad. Definitely don't want Wall Protector. Don't skip out to craft up. Another Stone Helmet could be kind of nice. We can definitely take this. Now, just getting out a little bit of extra mana, inflicting that tiny bit more colds. I'm going to keep rolling though. Vampiric Gloves would actually be the play, to be honest. It does cost us quite a bit, and I want to be finding a ton of gemstones. I will be taking it though. Let's roll again, and that's huge healing reduction. To the point where I'm actually going to craft these up, and we're going to take this in the next round. But yeah, let's get going once again. But I want to be finding a ton of Tiger Runes. The more of these we do find, the more we can duplicate our buffs, making it much easier to scale up our buffs. But at least with our Elfin Rune, we should be able to get a lot of max life, and holy moly, that's a lot of blinds. However, with our magic charges, blind doesn't matter to us. We should be in a pretty good spot, although they're going to get a lot of damage. But hell yeah, blind does not matter to us whatsoever. Double magic charges, looking kind of crazy. I'm going to say kind of crazy, actually not too bad. Now in terms of DPS, I wonder how much we do actually have within 15 seconds. It's only about 50 DPS, which is not too crazy. Our opponent does have a 30 DPS. And in terms of heals, we do manage to get about 12 healing per second, being our Vampirism doing a large majority of it. In terms of block, we managed to get about 97 blocks, so it's not too crazy in block, but how much max life did we get? Just about 10 per second, with another 50 and 20 from Bloody Amulet. Should we take our points run? I'm going to see if we can actually make this crazier. Now speaking of crazier, how about we just grab more healing reduction out of Wazoo? Because we're going to craft this up, we're going to take you too. We are going to roll again. And let's keep rolling. Another box of riches could be kind of nice. Also Dragon Skill Armor if we wanted it. But let's keep going. Now that's a Hog Rune. It's definitely not the gemstone or the freaking runes we're looking for, but we'll take it. Jesus Scalper Max Life could be kind of nice too. We take this little gemstone and we keep rolling. Now do we want to stack up Infinite Vampirism? Because Infinite Vampirism for us will scale up our healing quite a bit. But again, it costs quite a bit. Do we sell our box of riches to grab it? Now the funny thing is, if we don't craft these up, these are going to be both 25%. If we craft it up, we're going to get 30% healing reduction in our helmets, with another 18%, so it's honestly better to keep them this way. Now I wouldn't mind grabbing our Vampirism, but it is going to cost us quite a bit of gold to keep rolling, and I kind of just want to grab them. So I might sell a Snowball with these two gemstones, just to go ahead and take it. That's going to be lots of Vampirism for us. Lots of Vampirism, give us more heals. We have a little bit less mana with it, which is not ideal, but it's going to have to do. Because I'd rather get the Vampirism for our heals. Now, our opponent does have a lot of healing reduction, which is a bit problematic. We also got healing reduction on our opponents, but they're going to be stacking up max life with a Thornbloom card Gooberts. They do get invulnerability, and this pop is going to start dealing some big old damage with that Empower. But with our Battle Rage, we get even more damage reduction and smashing. Just insane amounts of damage reduction. Now, how about we just grab ourselves another freaking Mana Orb to scale up our buffs even more. I'm going to take it with a set of blueberries. Let's roll again. It gives us another Hawk Rune. Now, we can actually put this in our backpack. Instead of having crits, we can just try to inflict a bunch of blinds. Now, is that really that good? Because it doesn't seem like it. I will be taking it though. Let's take these two. Let's roll again. That's a big old perfect sapphire, so we can just completely ignore armor. But it's 16 gold, and I'm never ever taking that. Let's roll more time. Holy moly, really wants us to take our perfect sapphire. That's for sure. Now I'm going to sell a little blue gemstone, and I'm going to sell this little chipped amethyst, so we can go and grab ourselves a set of blueberries. We can free this up over here, and we can have our mana being generated quite nicely. Now, unfortunately, we might need to move this over so we can make use of this fanny pack just a small bit better. And this mana orb is going to sit in here, so we have the potential to get the buffs from it. But yeah, let's get going. Let's definitely get going. Let's get our magic torches to go crazy for us. Our opponent is going to be rocking Harold the Hateful Hat. They're potentially going to be scaling up some crits on that blood turn by also giving us a ton of buffs as well. That should have 29% crit chance. But we still have our damage reduction. They have decreased your healing by quite a bit, and unfortunately this blood turn is nuts. Definitely nuts. Now I think we can craft this up because we're going to be getting some of these gemstones that we can craft up ourselves. We're going to roll. Yours is free monies. Let's roll again. And let's keep rolling. Now that's another big old prismatic orb with a big old blue sapphire as well. But this is going to be nuts. I think I might actually sell our box of riches. I want to sell our box of riches and a little topaz because I do want to grab ourselves another prismatic orb. That way we can start off with a lot more mana to try and get a big mana of bomb just that small bit easier. And yeah, it should be pretty darn decent. Let's get going once again. And with our Echo Battlecry, we should be able to trigger it again. And it should be going relatively fast. Every 4 seconds, we're going to get damage reduction, or we're going to get our prismatic orb. Our helmets can actually overlap, giving us even more damage reduction at the same time. However, our opponent does have 84% heal reduction. We also got 80% heal reduction on our opponents. We do get our damage reduction. Can we keep up? Definitely not. Our opponents just had a little bit more damage, and they got better runes being the badge runes, decreasing the damage taken during battle rage, which we haven't seen a single one just yet, which is madness. Now we got ourselves a big old axe, which I'm going to be selling instantly. We're going to be grabbing a small bit of storage. We're going to be grabbing ourselves a set of blueberries, and we're going to be grabbing this up to get more heal reduction, and that's amazing. This is exactly what we're looking for, these tiger runes. Let's keep rolling. We could grab ourselves an unidentified amulet, but I'm not too pushed about it. A bird on sale for 3. Maybe we could take it, place it here, trying to speed up our whole situation, which I'm down for. But I really want to find more runes, if possible. Let's sell one more stone to roll again, and that's amazing. We definitely want another freaking tiger rune. But hey, we're going to take it in the next rounds, in our final rounds. Let's get going. Now, speaking of crazy, our opponent is going to be inflicting a lot of debuffs. It's slowing us down, which is problematic. But can we keep up? Can we definitely keep up? If we get a big mana buff bomb, we're going to be in a crazy good spot, but our opponent is also going to be removing our debuffs, or our buffs, I mean, making it pretty tough on us. And slowing us down, we don't get our scaling, so we could be in trouble still again. And it's looking like we probably should have took our points in a run, but we faced really, really darn tough opponents. And especially this debuff stack in Prismatic Sword. There's not much we can do about it when they have 61 cold on it. Bring us down to 1 life. Let's take our Tiger Rune, let's roll. That's another mana orb, which I'm going to take with our storage, and let's keep rolling now again. And we could take another set of blueberries, but let's roll one more time. And unfortunately, I think this is going to be a fun setup. Is it going to be good enough to win out? We'll have to see. As long as we face not a cold stack on builds, our opponents with lots and lots of heal reduction, which they do have lots and lots of heal reduction, so we could be in trouble. We're going to slow this one down. We are facing a poison second build. Holy moly, it's literally what I didn't ask for. Madness. There's going to be a lot of poison on us. We did get a big mana buff bomb. We almost have 6 max life. They also nullify a lot of our buffs, which is troublesome as well. But with the Tiger Runes, we should be able to get a lot of buffs stacked up, since it's going to duplicate quite a bit. We do trigger both our prismatic orbs again, giving us even more buffs. And can we trigger another big mana pot? Another mana orb? It's not looking too bad for us. We got our damage reduction and smashing. However, we faced a lot of tough opponents, bringing us down to 1 HP. Now, in terms of DPS, we did manage about a 55 DPS, so it's not too bad. Even though our opponent did have damage reduction with invulnerability as well. Now, in terms of heals, we only managed to get 10 healing per second. But again, our opponent did have a nice amount of healing reduction on us. In terms of maximum health gains, we did manage about 320 with our investment opportunity being the vast majority of it, our Elephant Rune and our Bloody Ammo. And in terms of block, we managed to get about 74 block. But hey, we did survive 1 life left. We probably should have took our points in a run. But how much are we going to get? Plus 18, ranking us back up to Masters again. And it is what it is. We do be flip-flopping back into Masters and Diamond. But hey, I'm going to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or you can subscribe. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Now, can we deal with this crazy weapon situation? Spike Staff, Crib with Staff, the Practical Large Great Sword with Link Staff. They're going to be using an insane amount of mana. They're going to have guaranteed crits with the Crib with Staff. And they should be able to hit with everything since they're going to be regenerating a lot of stamina. Which is actually kind of interesting. But is it going to be good enough to win out? Definitely not. And finally, can we deal with this Turbo Double Axe Anvil? They're going to have a lot of heal reduction on us, almost 100%. So healing is not going to be too great for us. Even though we did want to stack a bunch of vampirism, we're going to have to rely on just our max life. Because armor, they're going to be attacking through it also. Now they do get a vulnerability, which might have given the advantage, but that's 122 crit with a magic torch. And hell yeah, not too bad.